Hi, my name is Karen Gaines, owner of Plenty of Sense LLC, and today I'm going to talk about how much executive directors should get paid at nonprofit organizations. And I decided to talk about this or bring this topic up because I had a friend come to me and she said, hey, I'm thinking about switching my business from a for-profit to a nonprofit because that's really how it operates. We have all of the makings of nonprofits. They provide or they provide homes for young boys that do not have a home to go to. And so she said, I really want to do this, but when I talk with my lawyer, he says, well, you have to be careful switching to a nonprofit organization because your salary may have to change. And I told her, I said, well, what does he mean by that? And so she basically said he strongly implied that her and her partner would get paid less and their salaries would have to be, be below fair market value, and they would not be able to make much money. And which I told her, hey, that's not true. I know what she does there. And then I said, you actually do two jobs there, And so we kind of went back and forth. But, I've heard over the years, I've heard a lot about executive director pay, and that is why I wanted to talk about this. Okay. And, just like the lawyer or the attorney that was talking to my friend, there are similar opinions about how much executive directors at nonprofit organizations should get paid. Many people believe they should earn less than for CEOs that work for for-profit organizations. Others believe executive directors should be paid pennies on the dollar. And then, I heard before that some people believe that EDs should work for free because it's a nonprofit organization and they are doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. Okay? But, in my years of working in nonprofit organization, the reality of being an executive director it's a lot. Being an executive director is very hard work. EDs often work very long hours. They frequently wear 2 or more hats because a lot of nonprofits are understaffed. And so, you combine all of that plus a low wage, well, that's going to lead to burnout, frustration, some anger, and the executive director eventually leaving. Okay? So here's my opinion of why, executive pay matters. I do believe that executive directors should be paid fair market value. The workload is comparable to or greater than for-profit CEOs. They actually do a lot of the same type of work. They're responsible for a lot of the same type of things. Compensation impacts retention and organizational stability. So, as I was saying before, if the executive director feels like, hey, I'm doing all of this work, I'm not getting paid much, the executive director could leave, and that leaves the nonprofit organization in a vulnerable situation. So the question is, how much should executive directors make? And it depends on several key factors. One, it depends on organizational size. If the nonprofit has a larger budget, more programs, increased complexity, and the executive director has greater responsibility, then yeah, that executive director is going to need to get paid more because they have a larger organization that they are responsible for. Factor number 2, geography and cost of living. Cost of living varies by region. Your large urban metropolitan areas typically pay more, whereas the rural areas often have lower compensation wages. And it's that way by and large. I have seen in rural areas where, some executives are paid a little, they're paid more, but by and large, what I just said holds true. Okay. Factor number 3, experience and performance of the executive director. If the executive director has a proven track record of success, they have a lot of years of relevant experience, they have the ability to grow programs, to grow funding, to grow the organization as a whole, and they have strong leadership and management skills, that ED should be paid more. They should be paid more because they're going to have more of an impact and they are more valuable. So what's next? Well, in the next video, because this is a 2-part video, this is part 1. In the next video, we'll talk about how to determine the appropriate executive director compensation, and tools and benchmarks that can be used to support fair pay decisions. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you like this video, make sure you like. If you like this type of content, make sure you subscribe. Have a great day, and I will see you later. Thanks. Bye-bye.